So this is the new DiFluid. Now, this was sent directly from them so that I can try it out myself. So thank you again, DiFluid, for sending me this to be able to review this for you guys. I have seen many reviews already of this new product by the big coffee shops. I think Lance Hendrick did a review on it, and I also think maybe James Hoffman has already done one, but I'm not really sure. This is how it looks. Give me a second. So it's super compact if you look at it, right? It's very, very compact, which is something that I really like. Normally, your refractometers will be chunky, even bigger than this, okay? And for what I've seen on other reviews, this one is as good as the big and very expensive chunky ones, which is what is actually very revolutionary about it. Let's see what it brings inside. It has a nice little sack where you can, or like pocket thingy, so where you can store it. Like I always store everything on my backpack, right? I have my AeroPress Go there, I have my coffee, I have a little scale, I have everything there. So this is pretty cool that it brings its own little pocket so I can store it there. It brings this little, let me see where it goes. Here. In order for me to be able to carry it easier, let's see, second. Okay, there you go. Pretty nice if you ask me, right? Look, very handy. Now, it also brings the charger. We have the charger there. Okay, and it brings two little pipettes. This would be to put the coffee on top of it. And this little piece of cloth to clean either the LCD, I think, and this. I will have to read, I think it is waterproof. Give me a second. This is in a language I cannot, oh, there it is. Blah, 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 notes, exposure. Oh, yeah, it's here. Wash the sample tank with water. So you can actually pour water there and just like, well, if you can pour coffee, you can pour water, right? But you can just rinse it out with water and then clean it out with this. Let's turn it on. Let me see. Oh, and the best part of this, I can't show you because you're on my phone, right? But it does has its own app where, and I'll show that in a second, where you are able to look at the brew that you're doing. So not only will it appear in this small little LED screen, but it'll also appear in the app, which I think nowadays it's super cool because it's not that manual or not as old-fashioned as before, right? If you're like me, you really like technology, you're always trying to find apps for everything, right? I have an app to travel, I have an app to split a bill, I have apps for everything, right? Nowadays, we all have a smartphone, or at least most of us have a smartphone, right? And apps are super convenient. So this is pretty cool because it brings its own app, which is free to download, right? And I will be able to see my brew in the app. Okay, so I couldn't really wait, so I borrowed my wife's phone to show you guys the app itself. This is the app, right? And you can change it there. You see, it has from like different type of drinks or whichever you want to call it, right? And then you can go to coffees, and there you have it, right? Now, if you see the little box down there, somewhere over here, right? That little, one second, that little box there will tell you where the good brew is at. If you guys can see, I'll bring it closer. You see that it says, oh, wait. No, don't go. There you go. You see how it says SCA, right? That's where the brew should be at. Now, this is connected to my DiFluid, right? So whenever I will brew something, I can just put the coffee in the refractometer and then see if the brew is good enough or is scientifically accurate, so to say, right? Now, of course, there are different type of taste and whichever, but there is a certain amount of TDS, which is the total diluted solids, that a coffee should have in order to be considered a good brew. Now, if you see there, here, at the bottom, right, you also write down how much grams and how much water and everything you use in order to calculate that, that brew that you're making, right? And you have for drip coffee, see over there, drip and espressos. So again, I think this is a pretty cool app, pretty cool small little gadget to have. And the best thing is that I would consider it not to be expensive. Like because you guys know that I have a coffee lab at the farm, right? And coffee lab equipment can get really expensive. You can find this in Amazon. I will be leaving the link to my kits where you guys can click and find this, okay? But it's not expensive. I think it's, let me double check that, but it was like $2.99 or one something. Let me just double check that for you right away. Let me show you. You guys go to Amazon, right? But I'll leave a link there so you guys don't have to go looking for it and everything. You can find this little device on Amazon for $129. There you go. It's in discount right now. It has a 30% discount, so it's, go ahead and do that, right? It's normally $159, so it's $160. If you ask me, that is not expensive for laboratory gadget, and especially, I haven't tested out yet, right? But especially for the reviews I've seen already from the DiFluid, it is as precise as those that are gonna be probably around the $1,000. So it is a great price for a great gadget, which has a very cool app where you guys can try to go and see how, or try to better your brewing skills. Now, I will be doing a full-on test and review of this tomorrow, so stay tuned for tomorrow's review on the DiFluid.